everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. Battle report number 77 is another 5,000 point battle. 'Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Cons, versus Sex Panther of the Demon Legions. That's right, me and an old friend sit down across the table from each other and try to knock each other's heads off. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to get back to my roots and getting my face caved in by demons. So yeah, this is fun. Sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes. Here's my list, and there's no changes from my last battle report because I played this game on the same day, and I typically don't make list tweaks on the same day. So I still have my Great Khan, Blackshade. He's my general. He's got a great weapon, Bluffer's Helm, Talisman of Greater Shielding, and the Divine Icon. I have my Khan. He's my BSB. He's got Heart Ripper, Yeti Furs, and Troll Eater. I have my Shaman Skaz. He's got 3 learned spells, the Talisman of Shielding, and he's the Path of Pyromancy. And I have my Mammoth Hunter, Lord Tremendous. He's got his Ogre Crossbow, the Obsidian Blade, the Armor of Fortune, Headhunter, and he's on his trusty Tusker, the War Teddy. Oh yeah. Starting off my core choices, I have a unit of 7 Tribesmen, the good old boys. They got Banner, Musician, Iron Fist, and the Banner of Discipline. I have my second unit of Tribesmen, the Conquerors. They have a Banner, Musician, and Iron Fists. Big old unit of 23 Scraplings, the Randos. There's a Musician in there, and they all have bows. Starting off my special choices, I have my Saber-Toothed Tiger, Bow Wowzer. Got a unit of 5 Scrappling Trappers, the Favored Pets. And a unit of 4 Tusker Cavalry with a Banner, Great Weapons, and a Flaming Standard. In the Powder Keg category, I've got 3 Bombardiers with a Musician. And in the Chain Beast category, weighing in at over 2,000 pounds, because they get heavier the more I talk about them, my Rock-a-Rock Warhammer. And the Rider with Lance, weighing in at around 1,000 pounds, because, you know, he eats, is my Rider with Lance, Shy Hammer. The Hammer Brothers. Very dangerous group. Very, very dangerous group, and you get to see just how dangerous they are in this game. Oh yeah, a little bit of a spoiler. Get excited. And then I've got the keystone of my army, my Frost Mammoth, Rufus. Couple of Ogre Crossbows are stationed on the guys that ride around on him, but yeah, Rufus is the main event right there. You don't want Rufus, especially if you're a Quaddle a Lizard Man, a Sauron Ancient, or any of the above. He'll eat your face. Anyway, that's it for my list. I'm going to post my opponent's list, play some music. Feel free to pause it whenever you like to see what he took. Here are my spells, which I think will be useful in this game. I've got Pyroclastic Flow, Cascading Fire, and Enveloping Ember. So I'm looking forward to trying these out against some demons. Here's deployment, and I got to deploy first, so I just threw everything down. I knew he had 2 cannons going in, so I knew I had to get across the field. I just didn't know where he was going to put them, but I didn't want him to get any shots in that. I wanted him to get in as few shots as possible before I could get a hold of them and hopefully kill them off, or at least stop them from shooting for a while. So I put some fast guys on each flank. I have my 4 Tusker Cav on the right flank. I've got my Rock-a-Rock on the left. I've got Lord Tremendous all the way over on the right flank. You can see the very corner of his base in this picture because I'm terrible at picture taking. I put the trappers in the forest there just in case. It was the only forest I could really screw with, and it's not really going to come into any play. But I figured better safe than sorry. Excuse me, and then I have my core in the middle with my tribesmen, Rufus, Skaz, Bow Wowzer to redirect, and the bombardiers in the middle to take care of any chaff or anything foolish enough to get in their way. They are carrying around mini cannons. On the far left side there, I put my big unit of scraplings with bows just to take care of any other chaff or any targets of opportunity that might present themselves, and that's it for deployment. Here's top one after movement, and like I said, I got to go first, and we're ogres. We're pretty one-dimensional. We went forward. My Rock came around on the left side there, daring the dogs to come play with me. I knew his cannon would probably shoot at me, and that's fine. I don't want him concentrating fire or anything like that. So yeah, everybody else comes forward, and I'm not so close that he can easily charge me, but I am close enough that he has to be careful. On the far right side there, I have Lord Tremendous behind the hill, so his crushers can't attack me, or charge me anyway. But if they get a lucky charge off on the tribes, or on the Tusker Cav, and they survive, he can come in and try to save him. Or if he comes forward too much, Lord Tremendous can hit him in the flank, and that would be awesome. But yeah, that's it for movement. During the magic phase, I get pyroclastic flow off on these guys. Fireball was out of range, but the small one was, the small pyroclastic flow was in range, and I'm able to actually zot a friggin' crusher right off the bat. I felt really good about that. So here's bottom one after movement. Nothing happened in my shooting phase or anything like that. So we start us off, and his crushers tried to charge the Tusker Cav and fail. And they end up on the hill. Just a corner of them, but it's enough. Lord Tremendous can see them, and that's awesome. See, sometimes my plans work out. It's super rare, but when they do, I get excited. I get the tingles. Other than that, though, the rest of his army just kind of comes forward. The Slaughterers come forward to deal with the Conquerors. His cannons just kind of pivot in place to take better shots at my monsters. His general and the small unit of Slaughterers come forward to deal with Rufus and the good old boys. He really wants to kill Rufus. He's got these little tokens he puts down to mark where they died. It breaks my heart. And his dogs just kind of fear the Rock, which is smart. But honestly, that's it for movement. There's a better picture of his his crushers going after my Tusker Cav and failing and putting them just far enough forward to be on the hill. Yay! I don't believe he has a magic phase. I'm pretty sure he's mono wrath. So we go into shooting, and his cannon fires at Rufus, and he hits, he wounds, and luckily for me, he only does one wound, but I don't know how long that luck's going to hold out. Poor Rufus. His other cannon, however, fires at my Rock, my Hammer Brothers, and misfires 6. Or is that a 1? That's a 1. I'm sorry, he misfires 1. So this cannon can't shoot for the rest of the game, which is absolutely outstanding. See, I've already taken out half the cannons, and I feel good about that. With that done, here's top of 2 after moving, because we didn't have combat yet. But we're going to, because I charged! My Tusker Cav slam into his crushers. Lord Tremendous slams into the flank of the crushers, and I think I've got them pretty well locked down. It's a lot of impact. It's 5D, 3 strength, 5. That's awesome. I believe I tried to charge with the Conquerors and the Slaughterers and failed. Maybe not. The good old boys and Rufus move up slightly because my Rock, I see the Slaughterers and I'm like, you know what? It's a longer charge, but my Rock could charge them in the flank, and if I can kill him, I can overrun into his general, and that would be huge. So I try it, and the Rock makes it in. The Hammer Brothers are eager to kick some ass and take names. So I slam into the flank of the Slaughterers, and that's looking really good. I take some DTs, and I pass them all because of the forest there. But yeah, I'll have to take more when I overrun, because I don't have a choice, if I am able to destroy all the Slaughterers. So I'm hoping. Other than that, the, what's it called? The Scraplings, they move up a little bit, so they're within 24 inches of the dogs, because I want to start putting some shots down range. Bow Wowzer just kind of moves over onto the hill, because I really don't have a place for him. The good old boys and Rufus move up slightly to help out the Rock if he can hold the Scourge of Wrath in place for at least a turn, because it's his turn next, and if he can do any damage to it, I'll send in the good old boys and Rufus and decline any challenge and hopefully kill the stupid thing off. Other than that, the Bombardiers and Skaz move up just to start putting some pain on the Slaughterers. The Trappers move up to be a pain in the ass, and that's it for movement. There's been a picture of everything mounted, pretty much, slamming into everything that's mounted on his team. 4 Tusker Cav and Lord Tremendous on a Tusker into the Crushers. That's going to be a brutal fight. There's the Hammer Brothers slamming into the little unit of slaughterers, and if that works out, I can hit his general. And while honestly, I don't believe the Rock can take him just, in close combat, even with impact hits, he should be able to do significant damage, allowing me to kill him later, which would be awesome. During the magic phase, I get Pyroclastic Flow off on the slaughterers, and I'm able to take 3 of them out of this plane of existence. It's a start. Then in the shooting phase, my bombardiers fire at him, and I think I'm able to kill 2 or 3 more, which is excellent. I'll take it. Like I said, every little bit counts when it comes to that unit. And then Rufus gets himself a little bit of revenge and puts a wound on the big guy with the ogre crossbow guys. I thought that was poetic justice. We go into combat, and it is just as brutal as you thought it would be. I'm able to kill 4. Basically, I take the unit out. The Crushers are all dead. His BSB on a Crusher is still alive. He ends up in a challenge with Lord Tremendous, and Ward saves everything I do to either armor or Ward, it doesn't matter. And is able to put a wound through on Lord Tremendous, which sucks. Luckily for me, my Tusker Cav with impact hits and close combat, after losing 2 of their number, were able to kill off all the Crushers, which is also glorious. I win this combat by a ton. Gosh, I think I win by 6 or something like that, which means he needs a 2 or a 3 to not take any damage. And he rolls Snake Eyes. So his BSB, which should have just been smoked, should have just been obliterated, no problem, is fine. Totally fine. Takes no damage whatsoever. It's just like Shyhammer is here. Shyhammer's heart is in the dice. Snake Eyes again! So yeah, that's how combat looks when it's all done. So now my Tusker Caver's stuck there while Lord Tremendous tries desperately to kill him in the challenge. Frick! Can you believe it? Over here though, this is magnificent. My Rock Brothers, Warhammer and Shyhammer, beat those bastards to death. Every single slaughterer dies. And thanks to the mandatory overrun, I slam into his Scourge. Oh, baby. I was so happy. Oh, so yes, my Rock slams into that son of a bitch, and hopefully I can do some serious damage to him before he kills me. So here we are in bottom of 2 after movement. I know, right? A lot of things have happened in a short amount of time. His slaughterers make the long distance charge at the Conquerors. I stand and shoot. I miss. Or actually, no, I don't stand and shoot. I stand thinking he's not going to make it, and that's what I get for thinking. He makes it no problem, slams right into the Conquerors, so they're screwed. And he's got a great overrun into the Bombardiers, which sucks. His dogs come forward to deal with the Scraplings, which also sucks, but what can you do? And his cannons just kind of turn to look at Rufus and try to take him out. Other than that, there's really nothing in movement. There's a better picture of the Slaughterers slamming into the Conquerors. And as you can see from the dice placed strategically in the picture, he rolled an 11 to slam into him, which I believe is what he needed. A 10, 11, or 12. And he made it. Good on him. Don't believe he has a magic phase, so we go into shooting, and the cannon that can shoot takes a shot at Rufus and puts another couple of wounds on him, which sucks. His cannons are super accurate today. We go into combat, and oh my god. So, the Hammer Brothers, they don't kill this guy in close combat. They are in impact hits. They don't. I do a ton of wounds, but I think he's got like 1 left. After saves and everything like that. He attacks back and he's able to put 4 wounds on the Rock. That's it. He flubbed his rolls really bad. So I got to attack. And I got the last couple of wounds through that I needed. Killing his Scourge, his general, the anti-life that is that model. Oh my god, I was so happy with the Hammer Brothers. They are magnificent. They're my enforcers, I swear to god. I give them all the steroids I can find. And because I have to overrun, because he's still bat crazy, I slam into the cannon, which is great. Maybe I can get a hat trick. Slaughterer, Scourge, Cannon. And then he's probably going to die. But I'll take what I can get. Combat over here does not go my way at all. As you can see, I did not kill many Slaughterers. My BSB ended up in a challenge and took a wound, didn't do anything in return. Maybe killed the Union Champion, I can't remember. I think I killed maybe 4 or 5 Slaughterers in return. I lose 2 Tribesmen with a 3rd on his way out. I lose this combat by a lot. He did 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds, and that's before charge, rank, banner. I think he's got the war banner in there. It's really, really bad. I lose by a lot, though. I break, but I get away, and he ends up slamming into the Bombardiers, and of course, Skaz panics and flees. In combat over here, Lord Tremendous tears him up. I only take 1 wound before I get to attack, and with the Obsidian Blade, I'm able to get like 3 wounds through and kill the guy. It was amazing. I think maybe the Tusker finished him off, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the Crushers, including character, are no longer a threat. And we all just kind of reformed like this because there was no reason. Well, we couldn't overrun, couldn't pursue anything, and so we just kind of reformed like that. Hopefully I can get these guys back into combat ASAP and finish this game up. So, with that over, we go over to the top of 3, and there's a little bit. The Tusker Cav slam into the rear of the Slaughterers. I tried to send I thought about sending Lord Tremendous in there, but to be honest with you, I thought maybe the Tusker Cav could handle it, and I didn't want to lose Lord Tremendous. So I just kind of moved him over to get in there eventually. The Conquerors rally, Skaz rallies. Let's see, the Bombardiers, they're in combat. The good old boys come up after the Hellhounds. I move Bow Wowser into way so that he can block the Hellhounds from taking out the Scraplings, because Bow Wowser is cheaper than the Scraplings. And I do realize after the fact that I gave the good old boys flank up to the cannon. That particular cannon can't shoot anymore. So hopefully nothing happens there. I also send Rufus over to get close to the Slaughterers because I want them to be going at a much lower initiative. So hopefully I can get more attacks through and lower the amount of attacks they have. That's it for movement. There's a better picture of my Tusker Cav slamming into the Slaughterers, trying to bail the Bombardiers out of their almost certain demise. Nothing happens in magic, so in shooting, the Scraplings fire away at the Hellhounds, and I'm only able to slip a single wound through, but I still feel pretty good about that. So we go into combat, and unfortunately, my Rock steam finally runs out. He did amazing. He really, really did. But yeah, he was able to do 3 wounds to the cannon. The cannon fires back, and was able to slip the final wound through and kill my Rock. It sucked, but he did amazing. He destroyed that small unit of Slaughterers, took out the Scourge of Wrath, and half killed the Chariot. I've got 0 complaints. This guy died a martyr. Over here, combat kind of goes well for me. I am able to kill 7 of these lunatics. I only lose a single Bombardier. My opponent rolled like ass. With charge, rear, banner, war banner, and 7 wounds to 3 wounds, charge, and a banner, I win this combat significantly. However, he is steadfast and is perfectly fine, as you can see. So that's what it looks like after combat reforms and all that good shenanigans. So with that over, here we are in bottom of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit, not a ton. The Hellhounds go after Bow Wowser, and he stands, kind of knew that was coming. The cannon that can fire stays still. The cannon that shouldn't be able to fire, it rotates. I think we kind of forget that it miscast 1 earlier in the game, but or misfired anyway. So I think it's going to try to shoot this turn, and I think that's pretty much it for movement. There is no magic, so we go into shooting, and the cannon puts another round into Rufus, hamstringing him a little bit. Takes a single wound, so he's taking 4 now. He's got 2 left, but he's on his last legs. Oh, Rufus is getting lucky as hell. The cannons are super accurate, but they're only nickel and diming him. After all that, we go into combat, and his hellhounds are able to destroy poor Bow Wowser. I think I get to attack at the same time as they do, but it's not enough. Bow Wowser dies, but he does save the Scraplings with his noble sacrifice, which is good. The Scraplings are worth, I think, double what Bow Wowser's worth. Combat over here goes very well for me. Again, I'm able to kill 5 of these guys due to my opponent's terrible rolls. He's only able to do 2 wounds to the Bombardiers, and I think maybe his character does 1 or 2 to the Tusker Cav. I win this combat. He is still steadfast, and he sticks. Nothing changes, and we go to top of 4 after movement. Rufus goes into the slaughterers to try to help finish them off. The, what's it called? Oh gosh, the good old boys kind of position themselves so that they can either charge the or the cannon on the top there, or the hellhounds. The hellhounds overran after they hit Bow Wowser and went off the table, so they couldn't be charged right away or anything like that. So not the worst move I've ever seen. Lord Tremendous goes into the forest to put a little pressure on the cannon in the middle. Skaz moves up to do the same, and the trappers really just stay where they are because they're not going into combat. That's it for movement. I'm sorry, the Conquerors also went into the Slaughterers. Yeah, 4 Slaughterers and a character is enough to send over 2,000 points worth of units into them. I may have gone a little overboard with this charge, but everybody made it in, and hopefully I don't lose this one. During the magic phase, Skaz, that magnificent bastard, he gets pyroclastic flow, something like that, off on the chariot that only had like a wound left, and I'm able to kill it, which is great because I think that's the only one that can shoot. We go into combat, and yeah, it's more or less a slaughter. 1, 2, 3, 4 slaughterers are dead. I think just his characters left, and after getting some serious attention, I believe he ends up dying as well. Yep, he's dead, and that's what the reforms all look like after the fact. We just turn around to try to get back into this fight. There's still a cannon and some hellhounds to deal with, but it's looking pretty good for the home team. We go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and like I said, there's really not much left. Most of his stuff is dead. The cannon, I think, tried to charge the good old boys and failed, and the hellhounds come back onto the table. That's it for movement. Yep, there's a better picture of the cannon trying to charge into the good old boys and failing to charge. Not looking good for the cannon. I don't know exactly which unit I'm going to charge, but I'm thinking maybe the hellhounds are the bigger threat than just the cannon. We'll see. Well, I know what happens, so here's top of 5 after movement. And yes, I determined that the hellhounds were the bigger threat. So I charged the good old boys with my general into the hellhounds, figuring if they stick and the chariot ends up in my rear or whatever, then it ends up in my rear. And you know what? At this point, things have gone my way so much. Who am I to complain? Rufus, Lord Tremendous, and the Bombardiers move up to throw everything they have at the chariot. Skaz moves up to put some damage on him, and the Scraplings stay still to shoot at it as well. With a little luck, it'll all be over after the shooting phase. And that's it for movement. There's a better picture of the good old boys slamming into the hellhounds, and hopefully that's enough to take them out. That's a pretty tough unit. The magic phase fails to do anything, so we go into shooting, and the Scraplings are the only ones that are able to put any kind of damage through on the chariot. I actually got a few wounds on him, but he was able to armor or ward save them all, with the exception of the one wound that the Scraplings got through. I really like that little unit. Combat soon follows, and yeah, we do a really good job. 3 of the hellhounds die, but these things are terrifying. And they're able to kill 2 tribesmen just flat out, just dead as doornails. So charge, banner, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, let's see. I did charge, banner, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds. To 6 wounds, I think I win by 4, and if you can believe it, he makes his leadership check, and they stay. We stay right the way we are. Nothing I can do about it. So here we are now in bottom of 5 after movement, and again, I think his chariot tries to charge me and fails. He's rolling so low, it's a little ridiculous at this point. I kind of feel bad for him, but it's a dice game. What can you do? And unfortunately, that's it for movement. But don't feel too bad for Sex Panther. He's a pretty tough guy, and we're laughing. We're having a pretty good time. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's cursing my mother for ever spawning me, but at the same time, I think I'm still going to get to go to his birthday. We should be good. Yep, there's been a picture of his chariot failing another charge, and honestly, it's a little ridiculous, but I mean, I didn't roll his dice. I don't know I don't know what's going on. I guess saving that puppy in the orphanage fire was a really good karmic idea, thing, whatever. We go straight into combat, and I'm able to finish off the last 2 dogs. They do nothing to me. And, yeah, that leaves just one thing left on the table. And that's what the good old boys turn to face, because, hey, I'm going to have to take it out sometime. So here's top of 6 after movement, and the only thing that happens is the good old boys with my Great Khan slam into the chariot. I'm just trying to get it done. There's been a picture of the good old boys and my Great Khan slamming into his cannon. We go into combat, and I don't know if it's impact hits or close combat or a combination of the two, but I'm able to kill it, and I think I only take a wound for my trouble. And that pretty much tables him, so there it is. There's the end of the game. Pretty much everything went my way in this game. In Sex Panther's defense, his dice were awful. He rolled low the entire game. He rolled 1s, 2s, and 3s. I mean, excuse me, once or twice it actually helped him out, but for the most part it just completely screwed him the entire game. I felt terrible for him. We still had fun, we still laughed, we still cried. You know, he wants to sue my mother for giving birth to me, but I get it. You know, we're still going to be friends after their restraining order lets up, and it is what it is. He's done it to me. I'll do it to him. We'll play another game, and I'm sure he'll wipe the table with me. But it was fun. It was good to get the legs stretched with this army and stuff like that, trying it out. But I'm still not sure how I feel about the Great Khan. He's cool. The Bluffer's Helm is awesome. I'm just thinking that he's wasted in the unit with the good old boys. They really don't need him, you know? So I don't know. I'm still thinking. We'll see. That's going to do it for this game. We'll get to the recap in a minute. But first, I got an important announcement. Well, I guess ad to show you guys.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright, so you guys know I'm always trying to find cool-ass models for you to use in your 9th Age games, or any games you choose to play. And Tabletop Miniature Solutions, TMS, has a Kickstarter coming out. It's out right now. I think it's going on until June 9th, showing all sorts, or basically a full Vampire Coven army. Tons of models. I think every unit is represented in this Kickstarter. And if you were ever thinking about getting an undead army, a vampire army, or just you already have one and you want better models than, you know, the default ones we all know, and this is the Kickstarter, guys. The price is right. The model quality is there. And this is your chance to get on the ground floor. This company has already done Undying Dynasty models. This company has already done Kingdom of Aquitaine. And now they're doing Vampire Coven. If you were ever thinking about getting into it, now is the time. I trust this company. I love their quality. They've got the best bases out there. I don't get anything for telling you this. I'm in the Kickstarter. I gave my own money to do it. I'm not getting any kickbacks for this. You gotta go check these guys out. If you had any inkling at all to get undead models, this is your opportunity. This is it. It's knocking at the door right now, and it is up to you to answer. Check my description for a link. It'll be there, and I'm going to keep putting these ads up on all my battle reports until the Kickstarter is over. Get these models if you ever wanted to. They're flippin' awesome. And it's from a great company that has done nothing but supported 9th Age since its inception. It's really worth your time. It's really worth your money. It's a great deal. You're welcome. Hope you guys check them out. So, as I'm sure you were able to put together, this was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I was able to table my opponent in the top of the 6th turn. I ended up losing Bow Wowzer, my Rock-a-Rock, and that's it. Like I said, pretty much everything went my way this game, which is a nice change of events, I gotta be honest. The Hammer Brothers, my Rock-a-Rock, and Shyhammer Warhammer, them taking down the Scourge was game-winning. That sealed it. As soon as that terrifying model was off the table, it was just a matter of cleanup after that. I got incredibly lucky that the cannon couldn't hit that game, the one that misfired. Otherwise, Rufus probably would have been dead because he was just a dartboard for cannonballs. And really, the only problem I had in my army was the Great Khan again. He flubbed a lot, and I'm trying to figure out why I keep putting him in the army. Leadership 9 is nice and all, but it's a lot of points for Leadership 9. I'm starting to think that I could find a better way to do this. So, eventually, I'm going to change up the list. Not everything went my way this game. My opponent did roll Snake Eyes on the break check against the Crushers, and that kind of broke my heart. I think Shyhammer may have started a trend, and I don't know if I should thank him for it or curse him for it. Probably more towards cursing, although it is really awesome when it happens. Even though it happens and it kind of ruins, things for me, it's still really cool to be able to get that on film. Getting pretty good at dealing with demons. I think Sex Panther beating my ass so much has really helped me getting my strategies down, I guess, against the demons, which is good, awesome. I'm excited about that. One less enemy to worry about. And even though things all kind of went my way, this was still a hell of a fight. This was a really, really fun game, and it was good to play against my buddy again. It really was. I love meeting the people when we go out of town, playing, hanging out with Shyhammer, hanging out with Vespian, hanging out with Dark Wizard and his wife. That was really, really cool. But being able to play against my friends too, you get back into your friend zones, and it's a lot of fun. And who doesn't love a little Sex Panther, huh? 60% of the time, he's going to be 100%. Honestly, I can't wait for our rematch. It's always fun to play against the guy. Real quick, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports me financially through Patreon, PayPal, and other means. I have some donors that want to remain anonymous, and I respect that, and I won't bring them up here. But I have some donors that allow me to thank them properly on my channel, and I respect that as well, and I'm going to take this moment to do so. So, Alex of the Vale Renegades, South Florida's Gamermancy team, Daniel Jolson, and Caillou Choi, thank you all very, very much. I appreciate it very, very much. And I will continue to do what I can to continue to be worthy of your patronage. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. But that's it, guys and gals. Battle Report number 77 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But as always, guys, thanks.